Hey guys, Kyle, the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for My Hero Academia Chapter 147. And what a chapter, honestly. First, to start off with, I just want to get this out of the way. Can we please just get can Kirishima and Izuku change places as the main character, please? I mean, I like Izuku fine, but after the past couple chapters we've gotten, like I seriously question why Kirishima isn't the main character. Seriously, like I said, these past couple of chapters, I'd argue he's gotten way a lot more development than Izuku has in the past. Izuku in the start of the series. Now, granted, again, a lot of that was just Izuku. Now, granted, Izuku is still a good character. He's developed and whatnot, but yeah, Kirishima just seems to have so much more going on with him. Honestly, to the point where I'm asking, why isn't Kirishima the main character? And like I said, I love Kirishima's development fine, but I love Izuku fine. Don't get me wrong, but it seems the best way I can describe Kirishima and the way I've seen him as now is that just his development and the way he's portrayed, it just all seems so natural to me. Honestly, like yeah, I don't know. It's just a personal preference, I guess, just from seeing Kirishima so much, I guess. Also, Rappa. Now, we learn a lot about Rappa. Well, Rappa for the most part was pretty much defeated, and we can see that even though even though he's technically was keep going, he wants to keep fighting. He wants to keep fighting, which is basically the reason as to why. Which is the reason as to why he has to take he wanted Kirishima to recover. He wants a second go at Kirishima, I guess. So honestly, with knowing that, with Kirishima and Rappa, who are getting are getting healed up in that, are gonna get healed up. That can go one of two ways. It can either go that they're going to continue their fight, or Rappa is going to betray, or is going to betray Overhaul. But honestly, considering, I mean, considering the fact that he said he only joined in order to fight, can keep fighting Overhaul, and that he's continuously lost to him, I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. But I I guess part of me also thinks that I think there's a part of me that does think I think sensibly I think this is going to this fight might continue, but I hope Horikoshi does do it where Rappa does actually betray Overhaul, because I think that would be a bit more of a sensible thing. Um, and also to top it off, like we get we learn a lot about Rappa in this, and honestly, like hearing Rappa's backstory, like everything he's been through, like being in the underground wrestling or fighting rings and whatnot, it really just puts perspective on how environment can affect how a person lives for pretty much the rest of their life. Like in his case, if someone had just extended their hand and given him maybe friendship, a bit of friendship. I know it's corny to think a shonen corny thing to think like that, but if someone had just given him a chance in order to live in someone had just extended a hand and given him a better life, he wouldn't have needed to resort to in order to fighting in order to such I guess dirty methods or whatever in order to survive. But I guess I guess one could also say that even in the worst kind of situations, a person can still find I guess some I guess another thing to take away from this is that even in the worst situations, I think someone can even find even the worthless a person who thinks of themselves as worthless can find a purpose to actually exist. And in Rappa's case, as nuts as it is, he's found purpose in fighting. Like people can say he's a sinner for that, and that all he wants to do is fight, and he's a bad guy and whatnot. But at the end of the day, you can't really fault him for pretty much only doing what he only knows how to do. And again, if someone had just given them their hand of friendship, I know corny shit, but still, if someone had just given him a chance to given him had offered their help, he probably wouldn't have gone through that. So yeah, it just goes to show how environment can really affect a person. In fact, I was gonna avoid saying this, but Rappa, in a lot of ways, even he reminds me a lot of Kenpachi. Like he yeah, just seeing what Rappa went through, it reminds me a lot of what Kenpachi went through in Bleach. Like it is there are a lot of similarities, but a lot of differences as well. And I think Rappa is pretty like I've been sort of indifferent to Rappa, I guess, but Rappa has kind of proven to be kind of interesting. Has been kind of proven to be like just he's a psycho. He's a raving lunatic who loves to fight, but hey, he's just doing what he knows how to do. So can't fault him for that. Also, in this, as they're all getting healed up, we learn of we learn of Overhaul's true goal, which is to reinstate the Yakuza. Now, we have to think a bit as to what that means. We have to think of what he's done up to this point. Overhaul has both. At this point, as far as the Yakuza are concerned, they have little to no power. And Overhaul has said that this whole serum and this whole serum or drug or whatever, in order to suppress quirks, this is sort of this is their way of making their mark. Now, with these two things in mind, with the fact that he says that this one lone drug he has actually created, but by of course using Eddie, which that shit is still a total and complete dirtbag thing to do, using a child in order to using a child. No, it doesn't matter what a quirk is. Using a child is just that is just that is abuse right there. Like seriously, you shouldn't use a child in order in any which way in the way that Overhaul is doing in order to make his dreams come true. But I guess it's the only way he knew. But back to my point, the Yakuza has little to no power, and he's developed this drug with using Eddie's quirk using Eddie's quirk, which can suppress quirks. Now, of course, I think the heroes are of course getting rid of the heroes are part of his plan. I still thoroughly believe that erasing all heroes is part of his plan. But more than that, from hearing this, of hearing that he wants to reinstate the Yakuza, I'm a lot of it is feeling like we're headed for a full blown gang war, like a total a gang war that is going to be through that is going to engulf the entire city, honestly, like everything that Overhaul is doing, it just smells like we're headed for we're headed for a war, and again a gang war where he's going to eliminate where he's probably where what Overhaul's probably going to do is he's going to use the drug in order to suppress the quirks of everyone who's considered enemies and who are considered all the rivals of Yakuza, and he's going to eliminate them and he's going to use the time they have with all his enemies' quirks immobilized. He's probably going to just kill them and eliminate every single one of the rival of the people and the villains and whatnot who are considered rivals and enemies of his boss, honestly. Like and through that he can probably and through that, and once all of his rivals and all of his enemies are destroyed, that means that the Yakuza can in fact be reinstated and rise to the top as the master, as the top of the heap of the criminal organizations, of the top of the heap is the criminal organization, because the Yakuza throughout history have been known as very powerful organizations, very powerful organizations. So it would as a very powerful organization of gangsters. So it would make in that sense it would make sense if pretty much if Overhaul is planning a whole gang war situation, and like if he is planning a gang war, then then I think that's really heroes are going to really need to make a choice as to what is more important in that particular situation. Is it saving innocent civilians from is it saving innocent civilians from being caught in the crossfire, or is it stopping the gang war? To me, I would go with saving the innocent civilians, honestly, and I just hope that's what those when the time comes, and if this happens, that's what I hope all these heroes who claim to be heroes are going to do. Like I hope that that's what they're going to choose to do is stop is to stop all this bullshit of trying to be heroes of stopping villains, and maybe actually do some hero work of helping to make sure civilians don't get in your crossfire. Because yeah, like at this point, there is a very thin. Like I said, like My Hero Academia has proven that it likes to show a very thin line between hero and villain, and like right now, heroes and villains, like except from our current generation, which are the UA students, there's a very thin, like every one of these guys are powered up junkies. Honestly, like none of them are heroes or villains. They're just all powered up junkies, and I hope that the heroes can finally do when if this gang war does happen. I'm just hoping that these heroes can finally do something to distinguish themselves as heroes. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much my review of My Hero Academia, chapter 147. Again, like an amazing chapter. And what do you guys think? Do you think that Overhaul is planning a gang war? Because honestly, that's pretty much the only prediction I can think of as to what he's planning and how he wants to reinstate the Yakuza. But and if it is, do you think the heroes are gonna actually? What do you think the heroes are gonna choose? The side of stopping the villains or the side of protecting civilians? But yeah, lay down in the comments below of what you think. And if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, or follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.